Hey there and welcome. If you like to paint miniatures and occasionally enjoy dry brushing, then I want to show you how to create your own texture palette to make your dry brush habits a little bit easier. This is my first episode of my new one-day build series, so without wasting any of your precious time, let's get right to it. First you need some kind of container. In my case I use this thin metal box for pencils, which can even be closed. The size of this box is 23 by 12 centimeters with a depth of about 1 centimeter. You can also use a different kind of box like food storage containers or a Tupperware in any shape or size, that's up to you. Then you will need a 2mm thick cardboard piece and all kinds of random bits and pieces. I used leftover plastic bits from Warhammer and other miniatures, but you can use whatever you want. Even Lego works perfectly fine. After gathering all components, I took the cardboard piece to cut it into the shape of the container. For measuring the shape, I just took the box and outlined it with a pencil. You can cut the cardboard with scissors or a hobby knife, whichever you prefer. I found it easier with my hobby knife, but for the edges I used scissors and cut them into a round shape like the edges of the container. In this little slapstick moment I wanted to check whether the part fit, and it looked pretty good. But I struggled a bit to get the cardboard out of the box again, so I cut off a bigger piece of one of the edges, big enough for my finger to get it out easier. I will explain later in the video why I even considered that step to remove the cardboard piece if necessary. After that, I glued it in place with super glue. Once the glue had dried enough, the fun part began. Gluing all sorts of little things onto the cardboard surface with a hot glue gun. I started with flat pieces of cork, which served as small surface for drops of paint. You will see later in the video what exactly I mean by that. And then I just used all kinds of different plastic pieces. Like already mentioned, those were mostly from Warhammer miniatures. Make sure to spread them out a bit, so you have a little space between each piece. Those spaces between the plastic pieces were too flat for my liking, so I added some sand for a better texture as well. I mixed a lot of water with wood glue, so that the glue would become more fluid to fill the gaps better. Applied that to the flat areas with an old paintbrush and sprinkled sand all over it. I did that step by step because if you cover the whole area with the water and glue mix, it would sit there for too long and the cardboard would suck all of it in, which would not be that great. Once the whole area was covered with sand, I watered the glue even more down, filled it into a small spray bottle and sprayed the whole area again to seal the sand. Let it dry for 1 or even 2 hours and you should be fine. After everything has dried, it was time to paint the area with a primer. I used masking tape to cover the edges and adjacent areas. After all, the metal should retain its shininess. In my case, I used my airbrush with black primer paint, but of course you could use primer paint out of a rattle can. But if you use a rattle can, make sure to do that outside, because that misty paint will get everywhere and isn't very healthy to breathe in. After removing the masking tape, the texture palette was pretty much finished. And if you're asking yourself why I glued everything on a piece of cardboard and not on the bottom of the metal container itself, it's quite simple. If the texture palette gets worn out due to heavy use, and trust me it will, I could just rip out the whole cardboard with every bit of plastic on it and make a new one. This is much easier than scratching off everything piece by piece. This step is absolutely optional, but since I have been to New York City and Boston recently, I bought some neat little stickers, so decorating a bit could do no harm. There you go, a nice little texture palette done. Have fun making one yourself. And as always, if you want to see more stuff like this, leave me a comment down below, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Alright, thank you for watching, have a good one, cheers.